Quick review of the Giro Synthe helmet. I've had this helmet for probably less than a year now. It's been pretty good. I like it. The original motivation for buying the helmet was I wanted something that was a little bit aero but still was comfortable enough to commute around town in, right? So I wanted the best of both worlds. So I figure, you know, if I spend 150 bucks on an aero helmet, 80 bucks on a regular helmet for commuting around town or what have you, if I add those two up and spend it on the Giro Synthe instead, you know, I'd have a good all-around helmet, kind of a premium helmet that I could race in, but also that I could just ride to work in, and it's been great for that. When I was buying this helmet, I shopped a lot of different helmets. I shopped the Specialized Evade, the POC helmet. I looked at a bunch of different helmets. I looked at the Air Attack as well. So the Synthe for me was the right combination of, first of all, it's very light. It's very well ventilated, and it really is aero. I would put these helmets on at the local bike shop and kind of ride around the parking lot. The helmet I had before was a Specialized Preparo 2, and I guarantee you, if you put the Preparo on your head and you ride around the parking lot, and then you put a Synthe on your head and you ride around the parking lot, you will notice the aero difference. There's that much difference in it. Now, will you notice the difference if you put the Synthe on your head versus maybe the Air Attack? I doubt it. But for me, I did notice a difference in ventilation between the Air Attack and the Synthe, and you'll definitely notice a difference in weight between like the Synthe and the Specialized Evade. The Evade is much heavier. Although if you look at it on paper, the Evade doesn't seem that much heavier. Put it on your head, it's heavier. So anyhow, I'm going to be getting a new helmet, and you'll see why here in a little bit. But I just thought, let's drag this out and take a look at it. So the box that it comes in, this is actually pretty nifty. I like this. Right? This is almost like an unboxing here. Yeah, when you get it, it comes in this little box that slides out, and you know, you can store it in there if you want. I didn't. I rough and tumbled this thing. I treated it just like a normal helmet. Comes in this nice little protective bag. You know, I kept all this stuff around in case I wanted to resell the helmet or, you know, whatever. Most people probably aren't going to. But yeah, it's pretty nice. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. But as I take this off, you'll see why I'm going to sell it. I crashed in this thing. So I don't really have any memory of the crash. So I don't know exactly what happened, but from looking at my Garmin, I was going along at about, you know, so I have a Garmin 200, and this is a subject of another video, but you cannot trust the momentary speed reading on a Garmin 200. But over the last several hundred feet, we had been doing in excess of 25, and at the moment of when the speed went to 0, it was a little over 27 miles an hour. And when I crashed, so this is on the left side of the helmet, okay? And I don't have any road rash. I've got a little bit of road rash on my arm, a little bit on my leg, but mostly my shoulder and my head absorbed the energy of this crash, right? And you can see gouges. Thank goodness that didn't happen on my cranium. And actually, if you look underneath here, you'll see that it's cracked. And you probably can't see, but it's actually kind of cracked and creased right there. So, funny story, when I was buying this helmet, so the suspension system on this thing, right, there it is, it's all basically made up of straps of about that length. So when you look at it, it's not that substantial, and it just sort of, the foam Kevlar shell sort of sets suspended on your head on a webbing like that. And actually, when I bought it, I was kind of looking at it, and I looked at the sales guy, and I said, well, I wonder how safe that is. And we sort of chuckled, right? Chuckled and said, as long as it gets me past the inspector and into the race. So, but the answer is, it is safe, right? It is safe. I'm not going to say I didn't have a concussion. I did. I don't. From what people tell me, I didn't lose consciousness. First thing I had was an MRI. It was 100% clean. We're a few days after the accident right now. I've had concussions before where at this point in time after the concussion, all I would want to be doing is laying in a dark room with a blindfold on with absolute and utter quiet in the background. I have no after effects from this concussive event. And I suspect, part of the reason for that is that the helmet crumpled and deformed and basically slowed my head down before it came to a stop. And even only by fractions of a second, but in things like this, fractions of a second matter. So, is the helmet safe? Look, at a 25 plus mile per hour collision with tarmac, essentially. This was a gravel race, but we weren't on the gravel yet. This helmet did its job in spades. So yeah, don't worry about the safety aspects of this helmet. It's got you covered in that respect.